A North Texas mother is behind bars right now following the disturbing death of her autistic teenage daughter. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Casey Stiegel. That investigation is underway in Balch Springs, where police say they were called to this home for a medical emergency more than a week ago. When first responders got there, they found 19-year-old Delilah Villegas dead inside a bedroom. According to detectives, the girl was emaciated and covered in wounds. Now her mother is facing at least one criminal charge. Fox 4's Amelia Jones spoke with the victim's family today and also has new updates tonight from police. She's live now with more. Amelia.
Casey, Balch Springs police said they're still trying to figure out a time frame of when Delilah Villegas died. Her aunt told me today she couldn't help but blame herself for not calling police when she had a gut feeling that something was wrong.
How?
That question has kept Yahaira Pardo up at night after learning the details of the death of her 19-year-old niece, Delilah Villegas.
It's heartbreaking.
Villegas was nonverbal and autistic. Balch Springs police say on Valentine's Day, Villegas' mother called 911 to report that her daughter was not breathing. But when officers arrived, they found Villegas had already died.
We know that she was deceased minimally 4 hours because of the rigor mortis had set in, and but we can't get a correct time frame. We've asked the medical examiner's office, and they actually said between 6 to 24 hours.
Police say Villegas was found inside this home on Horseshoe Trail, lying in the fetal position with visible wounds and sores. Officers could tell that she was severely malnourished.
Originally, when the officers arrived, they thought she was probably 13 and didn't realize she was 19 years old.
Her mother, 41-year-old Crystal Canales, told police she didn't call for help because Villegas would often become violent towards others. Pardo never knew her niece to be violent, but did say that the last time she saw her was in 2019 at Villegas' dad's, Pardo's brother's, funeral.
My mom and my sister did see her in 2021, and it was at her oldest sister's graduation. She was perfectly fine, healthy, didn't seem like anything was wrong.
From 2021 on, Pardo would get updates from Villegas' older sister who moved to Fort Worth. Pardo can't help but blame herself for not listening to her gut.
I do say that I have a blame in all this and where we at right now. And why? Because I had a gut feeling that something was wrong.
The medical examiner has not released an official cause of death, but on Friday, Canales was arrested and charged with serious bodily injury to a disabled person, which is a second-degree felony. Villegas' grandmother and great-uncle also lived inside the home. According to the arrest affidavit, her grandmother told police she hadn't seen Villegas for weeks, and her great-uncle hadn't seen her for about a year, even though they lived in the same house. Pardo wishes someone would have reached out to police or to her for help.
If you knew that something was wrong or you haven't seen Delilah in months, everything from the beginning to the very end is wrong.
Villegas loved to play outside and organize her stuffed animals. That is how Pardo wants to remember her, happy with a smile on her face.
To know that she's in the hands of God and that she is with my brother at peace in his arms. That's what gives me comfort.
And while she believes there is no justice for Villegas' death, she's going to do everything she can to make sure people remember her life.
That everyone does know that Delilah was here. She was alive. She was present.
Balch Springs police said they did a welfare check at the home in May 2021 and everyone was healthy. When officers found Villegas, they reported there was food in the home and the house was in order. Police said everyone they interviewed spoke positively about Canales and Villegas. Police are still investigating to figure out how things got to this point. Right now, it's unclear if anybody else will be charged in this case. Casey, back.
Dallas police say the driver wanted for a hit-and-run car accident that killed a 6-year-old girl turned himself in and admitted he hit her. David Pauley has now bonded out of jail. He's charged with hitting and killing 6-year-old Destiny Wright. The little girl slipped out of her family's home over the weekend, and she was hit while wandering the streets. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke with the girl's grandmother, and Peyton's live tonight. Peyton.
Steve, and the family tells me the chain of events leading up to the 6-year-old escaping that North Dallas townhome will haunt them forever. They tell me 6-year-old Destiny Wright liked to sit on the stairs inside and play on her phone, but late Sunday evening, the child's grandmother noticed she wasn't in her usual spot and the front door was open.
Everybody wants to hear, why weren't you watching her? Why didn't you do this? There's nothing you can say we have not said.
Mary Friday forced to replay the events from Sunday night in her mind. Just after 10 p.m., Friday noticed her daughter's door was open and her 6-year-old granddaughter, Destiny Wright, was missing from their North Dallas townhome. Destiny, diagnosed with autism, who, according to Friday, would often take off when she was outside.
She unlocked the door. There were 2 deadbolts, the 2 bottom lock, deadbolt lock, and then a chain. The only thing that was not on their door was the chain.
Destiny is seen in this surveillance video wandering down Beltline Road. We paused the video when Dallas police say a white Acura SUV struck and killed her. The Acura then circles back around and pauses in a nearby parking lot before it takes off. Friday tells Fox 4, minutes before Destiny escaped their townhome, her husband walked to a nearby corner store. Destiny's grandfather was walking back home when he noticed the witnesses in the street trying to help his granddaughter.
That helps me to know that at least she had those moments because they were like best friends. So I'm confident in it.
2 days after the fatal hit and run, Dallas police arrested 67-year-old David Pauley. Dallas police obtained surveillance video from businesses on Beltline Road showing the white Acura MDX head westbound and then head north on the Dallas Tollway. The license plate registered to David Pauley of Louisville. Through an attorney, Pauley turned himself into police on Tuesday.
But all of the conscious decisions that I feel like he made, that's what bothers me.
Friday, now forced to be strong for her grieving family.
That I have a daughter who lost a daughter, and it would be selfish of me to just think about what I'm going through and not think about how she just lost her only child.
Destiny's family tells me while she is a runner, she has never opened the front door before. As for the suspect, Pauley told investigators, and he admitted he was the driver and he admitted to hitting the child, but it's still unclear if he ever told investigators why he decided not to stop. Pauley faces a charge of collision causing death, and he has since bonded out of the Dallas County Jail.
The Dallas Mavericks have certainly made a lot of headlines in recent weeks. Now the team facing a brand new PR nightmare. This one, however, is far more serious than fans simply protesting the loss of Luka. Assistant coach Daryl Armstrong, I should say, was arrested last night in Dallas. Police records show Armstrong allegedly hit a woman with a gun and then he threatened to shoot her. Armstrong was booked into the Dallas County Jail but has since posted bail. Fox 4's Alex Boyer covering all of the developments for us tonight.
Dallas Mavericks assistant coach Daryl Armstrong trading the basketball court for a jail cell. Armstrong is charged with assaulting his girlfriend.
The officers believe that there's definitely probable cause for an arrest.
Walter Musgrove is an attorney and sports agent not involved in this case. The encounter happened early Saturday morning inside the couple's apartment located off Ross Avenue near North Griffin Street in downtown Dallas. The woman told police that she saw a text message from another girl on Armstrong's cell phone and asked him about it, which led to an argument. She claims Armstrong had been drinking and became irate. According to the report, Armstrong picked up a pistol and struck her on the right side of her face. Armstrong then reportedly loaded a full magazine into the pistol and said, quote, "I'm going to shoot you," end quote. The woman left the apartment, ran across the street to this 7-Eleven and called police.
The charge is a second-degree felony, and it carries a jail term of 2 to 20 years.
In a statement, a Dallas Mavs spokesperson said in part, the Dallas Mavericks are aware of an incident involving a member of our staff and are gathering all relevant information surrounding the incident. We take this matter seriously. The employee has been placed on administrative suspension pending the outcome of legal proceedings. Armstrong's arrest comes just weeks after the Mavs suddenly traded their star player Luka Doncic to the LA Lakers, leading to widespread backlash from fans. Some of them see this as another blow to the public image for the franchise.
Just another line item in a long list of bad news, and it just seems like it's just going to keep getting worse and never get better.
Musgrove had this to say.
I mean, anytime you have a professional athlete or coach that's, accused of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, especially if it involves an alleged female victim, that definitely is a serious matter. And of course, in the court of public opinion, people will be quick to rush to a judgment about what actually happened.
Alex Boyer, Fox 4 News.
Armstrong is one of the longest-serving members of Mavs coaching staff. He also played for multiple teams, including the Mavericks, over the course of 14 seasons. Now, late tonight, his attorney did release a statement, and it reads in part, quoting here, Mr. Armstrong has been an upstanding member of the Dallas community during his playing days and as a coach. We will have more to say about this incident in the coming days.
A couple asked a stranger for help, and when he pulled back his door to let them in, they pulled a gun on him, robbed him, then shot him. That's the story behind this week's trackdown. Fox 4's Sean Rabb has surveillance video in Fort Worth.
Officer Buddy Calzada, Fort Worth Police Department. Let's get straight to the video this week, Buddy. Tell me what we see and where we see it happening.
You can see them in this video right now getting out of the window. Sean, this is going to be an aggravated robbery that took place at the 2300 block of Tudor Drive. Two individuals described as a Hispanic female in her 20s and a light-skinned black male knock at the door, ask for a glass of water, force their way into the apartment, put a gun to this gentleman's head, right to his head, Sean, and then demand his money. A struggle ensues right after that. You can see them in this video right now getting out of the window, and as they go out the window, they turn around and shoot at this victim.
And he dodges the bullets?
Amazingly, you hear about it in Western movies, how you can dance and dodge bullets. This dodging saved his life. The biggest part is we have video of them. We also know that they hang around the 1300 block of East Seminary, around the vape shop, the hotels there. Anybody in this general area is going to know them.
That's my question. When you look at this video, these images, if you know them, will you know them?
Right, you're going to know them. You're going to know that they possibly have a gun, and you can know that they've probably done some of these crimes before due to just going up asking for somebody for some water, for some help, and then taking advantage of them.
Is that what bothers you the most?
That's what makes this an aggravated robbery. Not only did they try to take something from somebody, but they used deadly force, and that does bother us.
What is it you need, Buddy Calzada?
It's real simple. We need anybody that has information or that can identify these individuals. Call Detective Olson right now, 817-392-4377. Get them identified and get them behind bars.
Who's the man? Who's the woman? This aggravated robbery. Get at Fort Worth Police. Get at Detective Olson. Help find this guy and this girl before they do the same kind of thing again.
And you can also watch past trackdown stories and maybe help solve a crime. Go to the Fox 4 YouTube page, youtube.com/Fox 4 News.
A North Texas man who was intoxicated when he struck an SUV head-on, killing a teenager, took a plea deal nearly 3 years now after the crash.
And the girl's family says that they're heartbroken that he was even allowed to take a deal. They spoke with Fox 4's David Santendry about today's guilty plea. David joins us now. What can you tell us?
Well, it's a 17-year sentence for the man who was not even supposed to be driving when he killed 13-year-old Brooklyn Moran. He wasn't supposed to be driving because it was about a year earlier he had his license revoked for a DWI.
It's just not fair.
Brittany and David Moran watch from the sidelines as their daughter's friends play soccer. Brooklyn Moran loved soccer, but the 13-year-old's life was cut short in 2022, killed by Jeremy Spencer, who was intoxicated and chose to get behind the wheel of his truck.
Well, my daughter didn't have a choice as to whether or not she wanted to live.
Fox 4 previously spoke with Brittany Moran after she got out of a hospital. She was driving, but does not recall the crash. Spencer crossed a center line and hit their SUV head-on in Garland.
I don't even remember getting hit. And then next thing I know, I wake up at the hospital like 4 or 5 days later and didn't even know I was in a wreck.
Brittany wheeled on a stretcher to Brooklyn's funeral.
But here I am, and maybe I'm just here to fight for her and kind of make more awareness of.
Monday morning, Spencer accepted a plea deal, a 17-year prison sentence. The Dallas County District Attorney's Office says the intoxication manslaughter penalty range was 2 to 20 years. Spencer also pled guilty to 2 counts of intoxication assault for injuring Brooklyn's mother and a young friend in the vehicle. Spencer pled to 2 10-year sentences for those crimes, but they'll run concurrently with the 17.
You can never, heal and move on from, grieving.
At the time of the crash, Spencer did not have an eligible driver's license because of a DWI conviction in Collin County. Since the crash, he's mostly been out on bond, even while accused of violating bond by failing drug test patches for cocaine and methamphetamine and being at unauthorized locations. He'll be formally sentenced on March 3rd.
We are prepared for it. We are ready for it.
That's when the Moran family will have an opportunity to face Spencer in court and formally tell him how they feel.
We have an idea. We just have to get mentally prepared for it.
As part of his plea deal, Spencer will be eligible for parole. Heather, Steve, back to y'all.
Dallas County commissioners are moving forward with a plan to make county government offices safer for the people who work there while still providing access to the public. That includes Justice of the Peace courtrooms. Fox 4's Sean Rabb joins me in our newsroom with that story. Sean?
And good evening to you. The build-up in building security following an assessment of safeguards at all county buildings and Justices of the Peace asking for stronger safety over the past few years.
My concern is overall security for the building, not just my courtroom.
Justice of the Peace Katina Whitfield, along with other JPs and constables, at a Continuous Improvement Steering Committee meeting with county commissioners expressing safety concerns in government centers.
One of the things about 5 years ago, we looked at it. There wasn't any type of security in all these government centers.
Government centers house offices for the public so people can renew vehicle registration, pay taxes, or take care of other business. But the centers also house Justice of the Peace courts that can at times have eruptive emotions. The marshals are now covering security in these satellite centers, separating public areas from the courts and screening those coming before a judge.
We've already started this in one of our government centers in Grand Prairie. We started the government screening operations up there on the 2nd floor. After that, we looked at it. Everything's running pretty smooth at this point. We're going to be going to South Dallas Government Center to do that as well.
Grand Prairie Justice of the Peace Mike Jones tells me he is on the Courtroom Security Committee and led this initiative. Some JPs complain they don't always have a bailiff in their courtrooms.
That is the responsibility of the constable.
Commissioner John Wiley Price says state law charges constables with 2 duties: serving civil papers and being present at Justice of the Peace hearings.
So my office is typically operating between 6 to 8 deputies per day in the field.
Precinct 3 Constable Henry Curry told commissioners constables need more personnel.
So we're not trying to negate any of our statutory duties. We're here to do that. We just need to staff it. As you all are willing to fund the marshals to do it, fund us. We'll do anything that you need us to do.
Well, Commissioner said the county currently has a staffing assessment being done by UT Arlington to determine whether current staffing levels are adequate. But the immediate word was to juggle the numbers and make sure JP courts are covered with a constable bailiff when there is a docket.
All right, Sean Rabb, thank you for that report.
All right.